Gonna hazard a guess that this video is not sponsored by Casper mattresses.
No, it is not, as people are about to find out. There we go.
It could have been.
It could have been.
We had a chance.
We'll talk about it afterwards. Online, there are only like 3 things that shield my YouTubers and podcasters. Shitty razors, shitty subscription services, and shitty mattresses. In regards to the latter, arguably the king of the online mattress sellers is Casper, which may have something to do with the fact that they sue the fuck out of anybody who gives them a bad review. Allegedly. We've got to put that allegedly in there, Matt. Because you know what? I don't want to get sued by Casper mattresses.
Nothing we're saying in this is true.
Except for all the stuff that is 100% true, because we have actual receipts from the co-founder of the company like engaging in stuff that most will consider unethical, if not a bit illegal.
Allegedly.
It's not, it's actual fucking quotes from the guy who founded the company being like a shady asshole. I don't give a fuck.
But Karl, how is he being a shady asshole?
Well, let's talk about that then.
So that's not actually a joke, though. Allegedly is a word you need to use right now.
I think so, yeah, to avoid being sued by Casper, because as we're about to discuss, the reason that Casper themselves allege that they, sued or threatened to sue these various mattress review sites, which is something I found out existed while researching this, is not because they left bad reviews, it's because they engaged in deceptive business practices.
How do you review a mattress?
I think you just sleep on it and tell people how you slept.
It just seems strange to review something where you spend the majority of the time on it unconscious.
Yeah, I guess. But the reason I don't like mattress reviews, or indeed many reviews, is it's always like really wordy. I don't need to see that. Do you know what I need to see for a mattress review? I want to see the Sims style thing that tells you how much energy it restores by sleeping on it. I want that. I want just like comfort, energy restored.
Like, life would be so much easier if everything worked by like food. Instead of having like calories and stuff, it just says how much food it.
Yeah, it restores 4 food. So there we go. It restores 4 energy, and that way you don't buy the one that restores 9. It's got 9 comfort, 9 energy because it costs $3,000. You get the one that restores 6 and 7. So you know what that'll do because it's $2.5 cheaper.
And I think it should be digital. So you basically have to scan yourself, and it'll tell you. So, for example, if you're on a diet but then you really want a pizza, it'll say, well, it will recover this much hunger, but it'll put down happiness. And then you're like, well...
All things should work on sim logic. And then eventually you get that rejuvenator thing that I think was like a mod or something where you just stand in it and it restores all your stats to full. Did I ever tell you about the time I was playing The Sims and I installed every single add-on just to see, and my sim ended up crying every time I went to work? Because in The Sims, one of the stats that can affect your sim's mood the most is room. And that, the way you can improve that is give them a nice room, expensive furniture, lots of light. Things that can reduce room, though, is when there's piss or mess on the floor. But I had the animal update installed. So every time my sim left their house, because there was so much animal piss surrounding the house, their room would plummet to 0 and they'd just cry because they were that sad. And it got to the point, so for my sim to get a promotion, you have to go to work happy to get that. I had to build a corridor out of my house to the door.
What, like a shielding them from the piss?
To shield them from the thing and make them sprint to the car. And I was putting the move delete sheet in to pick up neighbour cats and delete them. It's you're fucking ruining my chances of getting a promotion. Stop it.
So imagine stepping out your front door one day and there is a corridor to your car and you're just thinking to yourself, which god put this in and why?
So let's move away from that and discuss these deceptive business practices that Casper alleged. You're probably curious about what they are.
Yeah.
And the number one thing that Casper took issue with in the cases we're about to discuss is the fact that mattress review sites were directing people away from Casper mattresses to other competing mattresses without disclosing that those competing mattress companies were giving their money via affiliate links and things like that. And that sounds fair, and I don't think any reasonable person watching at home would blame Casper for being annoyed about that, because that is kind of immoral. Oh, go check out this cool thing. I gave it a good review without disclosing you were being paid by the company. For every single mattress that you sell via the link that you provide. But I would like to point out that Casper themselves did engage in this practice until they stopped, usually singling out people who gave them bad reviews as the people to, remove from its affiliate program, which is perfectly fine.
Is this allegedly, or do we
No,
have
they
proof?
did this, yeah. They just, Casper stopped doing the affiliate program and then started suing people who use the affiliate program for other mattress companies. It's so amazing, isn't it? Casper 100% engaged in this practice and then stopped for whatever reason and then got annoyed when the people they were paying to give them reviews stopped giving them reviews because let's get this right out of the way. I'm sure there are plenty of objective people out there who review things fairly, but at the same time, I cannot look at any review where I know there is a direct financial incentive being given to that person to direct people to this product. Like, I don't care how objective you say you are. The moment I find out that shit's going on, I do not believe a word you're saying because like your livelihood, your income is based on keeping that company happy so that relationship continues.
Yeah, like it's really hard to tell nowadays if someone is sponsored, if someone's not.
Like in YouTube,
a lot of time you don't have to say it.
On YouTube though, you have to put the little thing that's a sponsored
in the
thing.
bottom left.
Yeah, which we've never had to click, and I had to find out when I found out it was a thing. Wait, where is that? We've never clicked that because we've never needed to use it.
I know where it is. So I had to go through all the settings when I first set the channel up. There's like a sponsored content little tick box.
You have that. But on like website, well, bear in mind we're going back like 5-6 years now before this was a thing. But it is a bit rich for Casper to like, get a maunge on about this and act like mardy ass bastards over something they themselves engaged in just because they realised that their competitors wouldn't stop like they did.
See, this whole video is dancing around the word allegedly.
Yes.
What's the evidence for this particular practice?
Well, we have the example of a website called Mattress Nerd, which gave a Casper mattress a less than stellar review one time, which resulted in none other than the co-founder of Casper itself, Philip Krim, emailing them to ask them, so, what can we do about this bad review? Which itself, I would argue, is all kinds of unethical, but it's also kind of sad. Oh, well, I respect and want you to be objective in your reviews. I can't help but feel disappointed that you'd recommend a competitor over a Casper mattress. I'm really upset about that. Is there any way that we can, work this out to give the mattress a better review? And the guy, to his credit, said, no, I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to be objective in my review. My wife did not like your bed. And you know what? Fair play to that fucking guy. Respecting the opinion of his wife. But for a moment, Brad, let's step out and pretend you're not a big dick YouTuber and pretend you're an even bigger dicked mattress review man. And you're sat there, and what would you value more? The opinion and love and respect of your wife or $50?
Well, I mean...
It's $50. The answer is $50 because in these interviews, in addition to offering the guy a free trip to New York to test out a Casper mattress in a more, I guess, just suitable setting.
Yeah, in another country on a holiday.
No, I think the guy was based in America.
Oh, okay.
It was like they offered him a free trip to New York to come test out a Casper mattress in a better setting. Which I say the best setting for testing out a mattress is your own fucking house, but whatever. Don't read into the fact they were basically offering this guy a free holiday to wine and dine him into changing a single review for a fucking mattress. And when that didn't work, Krim changed tactic and offered the guy more money via Casper's affiliate program. And I don't know what happened next, but I will just point out that almost immediately after this email was sent and this deal was reached, that website started giving Casper better reviews.
Strange.
Weird, isn't it? As soon as Casper started offering to throw money at the problem went away. And also, I bet the first thing that guy bought with his extra money was a single bed after his wife left him. Like I said, his reasoning was, my wife didn't like the bed. That's why I gave it a bad fucking review. And then the next review he does is a positive one after Casper offered him an extra $10 per mattress sold via his affiliate link. You know how he sold out. He respected his wife's opinion so little. Allegedly, he sold it out for an extra $10 fucking dollars.
You know, I reckon he got his wife on board. I reckon he said to his wife, look, I know you didn't like sleeping on that mattress.
Do you want a free trip to New York?
No, it's going to be, but do you want to never sleep on that mattress again? Because if they're paying me, I'm not sleeping on it. I'm just going to say it's good. She's like, you know what, that's fine. If I don't have to
What, do you think the wife was in on it? That's what cracks me up, because if there'd been one guy who changed his mind, that'd be one thing. It's the fact it was his wife's opinion that he disregarded for money. So you fucking arsehole, man. You didn't just sell out your objectivity, you sold out your fucking wife.
I get that we're talking about shady business practice now.
Yes.
I just want to take another little foray towards the idea of mattress reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Just because, right, if you're a mattress reviewer, That means
no,
that...
like, the thing is, it's massive business online. Why do you think Casper is so massive a company, and why do you think they so aggressively defend like themselves against bad reviews or deceptive business practices?
But, I mean, that means that these people must... I mean, they're going to have a bedroom near the front door.
No, what it is,
in and out of
is a lot of these companies, they'll send you the mattress and they'll take it back, and usually they donate it to like a homeless charity.
Do you reckon he's like putting on his pajamas like, oh, I've got to go to work again. Oh, what do his bedroom?
They're a ball ache to make. You have to sleep on it for like a month.
Yeah.
So you have to sleep on the mattress.
Well, they have to, it's a prolonged period of time. It's not just one per night.
Usually, yeah, because if you're not probably doing a good review. Because I compare that to it's the Coke versus Pepsi problem, where in taste tests, I think Pepsi always wins out over Coca-Cola because Pepsi is sweeter, but more people prefer drinking a large glass of Coca-Cola because like something that's too sweet, it's too saccharine, it's too sickly. You don't want to drink it for prolonged periods of time, which is why Coke usually has the larger market share.
Because people have better memories of it over a long period of time.
Yeah, whereas if in blind taste tests, where you just give someone, they're obviously going to prefer the sweeter thing. But it's the same thing of like, oh, I like having sugar in my tea, and I bet a tea with 6 sugars in it tastes nice, but I'm not going to go down like a pint of milky 6 sugar tea, am I? I'm going to just drink the one with like 1 sweetener in it because I'm looking after myself. I'm trying, guys. I'm sorry.
I got a tangent for you, Mr. Smallwood.
What's that?
Seeing as we're talking about mattress reviews, think about other products that must have reviewers out there, like toilets.
Well, no, we know someone who knows someone who used to review condoms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they used to work in the sensory analysis department for Durex, and they had to like quiz people on how their products worked. So there are so many jobs like that people don't know they exist, but they have to. My favourite one being, there's a guy I kind of know from my writing days whose job was translating washing machine repair manuals into German, Spanish, and English.
I could have used that fucker in uni when we move into a new house and you've got the new washer and the manual is only in like German.
That's what he did. He had a degree in both of those languages, so he translated them into them to make sure they could be read correctly. Because obviously it's a technical manual and there's a lot of like specifics to the way, but how many people even bother to fucking read those? But you think that guy was getting paid a very good wage, I'm informed, for just sitting at home and just translating them, and he fucking hated it.
I find it fascinating that people don't read those things, because like when we got
people get paid to write them.
Yeah, when we got a new washer in the house, we were like fumbling over how to make it work. I read the manual, understood the entire... I was like, oh, I didn't even know I had that setting.
Yeah, no one does. Because I put it on quick wash, 30 degrees, and I'm fucking done. That's all I need.
It's like video games used to come with the manuals. And if you read them, you're like, oh my god, a combo I didn't know. But now you just don't bother because they know nobody reads them.
Well, speaking of video games, I love that every year someone gets paid to design the cover of FIFA. And it's just a picture of insert footballer. But even better than that is the cover of like snooker games, where it's not even like an action shot they have to get. It's just a snooker player stood with his cue like this, superimposed over a fucking snooker table.
I always assume they just do close-ups of like a shot rather than an actual player.
I think someone has to edit it.
Yeah.
Like, my favourite is Soccer Manager. Because every game is Soccer Manager. Have you ever heard about Soccer Manager, man? In Soccer Manager, the guy on the front cover for about 15 years is just a headless man in a suit who's known colloquially as Soccer Manager Man. So he's the idea, it's the faceless manager of the football team. That's you.
Yeah.
And I think for 1 year, they took him off the cover and everyone complained, like, where is Soccer Manager Man? Bring back Soccer Manager Man. Soccer Manager Man's so good. Oh, that's so fucking good. I love that. Those covers are amazing because they're so stupid, but the fact they stuck with the theme for about 10 years makes it awesome. It goes all the way around like, you know what? No, you've got a theme now and I respect it. Before, it looks lazy in isolation, but when you realise it's part of a growing trend, it's been going on for years. And like, you can follow the journey of Soccer Manager Man as he manages every team in the world amazingly.
It would be great if it told a story.
I don't think they're that in depth.
No.
But I know that my brother's version of Soccer Manager Man made Stoke win Premier League. Fucking hero.
My brother did it with Accrington Stanley.
Oh, God. Yeah, my brother, I think what he did, though, is he used to go and play Scunthorpe United and make him, like, lower him down Premier League to get rid of him. So he didn't like play. He'd sell off all their players and then quit.
What I used to do is I used to make a player who had, like, full stats, obviously made him really tall and called him Brad.
Yeah.
And this player would put him on the worst team. So like this team just basically enters one of their lower matches. Like all the players are just ordinary. And then suddenly there's this giant Adonis called Brad.
Just
who's just able to score goals from the halfway line.
And you're selling for like 40 million, so you've got all your money. But you're selling to a foreign country, so you don't have to play against him. Because my brother did that tactic too. he would go and make like a 99 stat player, put him on like fucking Stoke City, sell him for like 100 mil to like fucking AC Milan or some shit, and use that money to just buy all the Premier League.
And then the game goes against you, moves him back into your league, and you have the final match to get the victory for the Premier League. You're against him. It's like a boss battle.
Oh man, just the god of football. Just the sentinel of the goal. The sentinel of the Premier League, just with those fucking giant Skyrim axe and a helmet.
If I call my manager Brad Rawlinson, and I call him Brad, it's like an evil twin. It's like that's the final battle.
Yeah, it's his twin. It's the man. It's like it's mind versus body, brains versus brawn.
But considering I'm overweight and 5'7", it's going to be like the film Twins with Schwarzenegger on the opposite team and Danny DeVito in the box.
You know what though? They were good. You know they're still trying to make a sequel to that called Triplets. Oh, and guess who the triplets going to be? Eddie Murphy. That's been in development hell for years, but I want to make that movie Hollywood.
That should definitely.
I'd watch that.
So that's pretty petty.
Yeah, and it's also a bit sad, isn't it? The co-founder of the company, a multi-millionaire at the time, basically writing begging emails because they've got a negative review on a website, asking them, can you please tell your wife to change her review? It's really upsetting. We thought we had a relationship. It's like, no, you're a fucking giant business. I don't care. And then it's even more sad that the guy changed his reviews.
There's got to be more examples. Like, it can't be an isolated incident.
Oh, it isn't, no, because as per usual in these videos, it's just a little bit worse because there is another example of Casper just being petty assholes, and that is when they got into an online disagreement with a mattress review website called Sleepopolis.
So what was the issue with Sleepopolis?
Well, the main issue Casper took was with a small disclaimer Sleepopolis put on every review of a Casper mattress, which you can see behind me, which advised people not to buy a Casper mattress and instead directed them to other mattresses that the owner of that website recommended instead.
I mean, I guess I can understand why you might be annoyed at that.
But that's that guy's objective opinion that is 100% protected by like the First Amendment and the Magna Carta and whatever fucking other legal doctrine you want to throw in that protects people's right to express themselves. So they couldn't take issue with that. So what Casper did instead was they said, well, that's deceptive marketing because he's not telling people that those other mattresses that he recommends are paying him money via affiliate links. You know that thing that Casper did and also used to get positive reviews, right? That was the thing they accused him of. And they took particular issue with Sleepopolis over other mattress review websites doing similar things because Sleepopolis was so popular that when you search for Casper mattresses, they were the first link you got. It's like, Joe, below that link, that's an ad that everyone avoids because I don't want to click it. I don't want to reward that behaviour. The link below that was usually a Sleepopolis review of a Casper mattress, which included that disclaimer saying, don't buy this, they're terrible. They're not worth the money. Here are better mattresses I recommend that are cheaper, and you get a discount with my coupon I'll offer you. Which, for consumers, is a fucking great thing to read. And it's like, this guy obviously doesn't like these things and he's offering me a better deal. I better click that shit. And Casper fucking hated this.
It must have been so frustrating to have seen that.
Oh yeah, to be Casper mattress and then go Google search your own company's name and the leading search result for like every variation you can find of Casper mattress review is a singular website that says they suck, don't buy them, buy these ones instead. But there's nothing they can do about that. That's one guy's opinion. You can't sue someone for a fucking opinion. So they try to get him on the deceptive business practices angle. And the guy who owned the website heroically refused to bend to Casper's will. And like point blank said, I'm not fucking changing it. That disclaimer's staying. Go and fuck yourself. And the battle raged on in court for years. And the owner of Sleepopolis, Derek Hales, accused Casper of, amongst other things, hiring a shady-ass company to destroy his website's credibility in the eyes of Google by doing a load of bullshit. I don't know exactly what they did, because I don't understand it. And you can put a full description below me in the link that I'll send you. But he said, they did this to make sure that my website appeared lower in reviews. And Casper, that's a complete fabrication. We'd never do anything as shady as that, while they were suing a guy ostensibly for deceptive business practices because they didn't like a review he wrote.
So how did this court case resolve?
It eventually resolved when Hales got so pissed off he decided, fuck this, and settled out of court, sold Sleepopolis and fucked off. A move I deeply respect for the utter lack of fucks shown. And according to people in the know, the last anyone's ever really seen of Derek Hale, because I think there's a journalist trying to track him down on Facebook and said the last picture of him is him just in a foreign country sipping on a margarita with a woman on his arm. And they contacted his friends and said, well, yeah, Sleepopolis kind of took a hit to its value, but we will be surprised if he didn't walk away with at least a couple of $1 million in his back pocket. Which, you know what? Well played him. But the story doesn't end yet, because obviously now we're left with a website without an owner. And after Hales decided to fuck this and fucked off to wherever the hell he is now, enjoying his life, you go dude, Sleepopolis was bought out by a conglomerate of mattress review websites.
Oh, fair enough. So obviously it joined this conglomerate in however they're reviewing things.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? Like Sleepopolis, one of the biggest mattress review sites on the website, it's going for a cheap price because obviously the damage to its reputation has been done in this court case. We can scoop it up for a good deal, fold it into our own. But the problem is the conglomerate of websites that bought out Sleepopolis didn't have the capital to buy it. So do you want to know who put up the money to buy Sleepopolis?
Let me guess. Casper Mattress.
Casper fucking Mattress. I am not making this up. This is 100% true. Casper Mattress gave money to a conglomerate of mattress review websites who all mysteriously had in the past given its products consistently good reviews to buy out Sleepopolis. And I should point out that in a statement issued by Casper after this news became public that they had no control over the editorial standards of those mattress review websites, but following, the purchase of Sleepopolis by this conglomerate, funded by Casper, all those negative reviews were taken down and replaced with more positive ones. And that link, that little disclaimer that said "Don't buy Casper," was removed and replaced with a voucher for a Casper mattress. So you couldn't make it up, could you? God, what a sad fucking company, man. Oh.
Am I right in thinking that this article actually hits a little close to home for you?
It does, because fun fact, we have a big enough YouTube channel now where we get reached out to my sponsors all the time. And if anyone follows me on Twitter close to that, they'll know that I point blank tell every sponsor to go and fuck themselves. We have a very simple criteria for any sponsor who wants to appear on a Fact Fiend video, and that is that you get 5 seconds. So, for example, the intro we did to today's video would instead be, today's video is sponsored by insert company. They had no control over what we're about to say. And that would be the second rule, that I get 100% creative freedom. And
considering the way that the podcasts have gone with Brew as well, you'd think that people would be interested in that kind of deal. Because what I mean is, you pushed through the deal with Brew to get full creative control,
which is weird that I wasn't given that straight away. No person who's reached out to us for a sponsor will give me 100% creative control, which means that my third, stipulation almost never gets discussed, which is that I am allowed to tell my viewers at home how much you are paying me, so that they know how much you think their time is worth. Because I think that's important. I think if a company's paying me to shill their product in a video, the people watching the video deserve to know how much I was paid for that and how much the company is willing to pay to get their eyeballs on their product.
But the point I'm making is the aftermath of that was that Brew got bombarded with messages from people saying, well done for being a good, transparent company. And your podcast did well.
Oh, yeah.
So clearly...
You can go find it. It's a link below.
Yeah. I mean, I've mentioned it now, so you may as well put in the...
I never mentioned it.
Every now and then
I'm glad someone does.
Yeah, it's one of those things where clearly, because marketers might be like, well, that won't work if we don't force people to say our product's great. But it obviously does, because if people believe someone and it's honest, then...
Well, no, that's what they want. It's because I've done a bit of research on marketing theory, just 'cause I like it. And there's a great pie chart I remember seeing in a business textbook once, which just breaks down what the most effective forms of advertising are, what encourage people to buy a product the most. It's here's paper advertising, here's internet advertising, radio adverts, here's direct marketing, so people knocking on your front door, putting leaflets to it, and here's word of mouth, and it's with big foot, it's half the fucking chart. And included in word of mouth is celebrity endorsements, because there's a weird trend where parasocial relations where people trust celebrities as they would a friend, so they work just as well as your mate telling you, go watch this movie, which is why obviously YouTubers are the new celebrities of the day, and that's why marketers want tell people our product is great, because they see you as a trusted person, if not a friend, for lack of a better word. So they will trust your word as much as they would their own mother telling them, go play War Thunder or some shit like that, or go sleep on a Casper mattress. And And I love that concept, but I refuse to engage in it unless I'm doing it in an ethical way, or the way I see as being the most ethical. And Casper Mattress has reached out to us before. And I gave them the same stipulations I just mentioned now, like, you get a 5-second plug, I get to tell my audience how much you're paying us, I get creative control. I said, that's fine. I said, actually, as well, I've got an idea for an article you might want to sponsor because it talks about your company. Oh, really? And I told them this story, this article. I said, do you want to sponsor this one? And they never got back to me.
It's weird that, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you give them the opportunity, we'll actually do a full episode on your company.
Yeah, we'll do an
but it's
entire
about
episode.
How shady it is.
But at the same time, I think nothing proves that I had complete creative control more than I'm going to spend an entire video talking about how shady your company is and the bullshit you've done to ensure you get consistently positive coverage online.
The thing is, I'd love it if you were like, oh, I'll agree to do like the ad read you give me, but I want creative control after that.
Oh, no.
But the ad read at the start will be you saying like, buy a Casper mattress, the most comfortable mattress of all.
And now let's talk
and then
about
immediately followed by, oh, by the way, they're probably shit. I was reading that thing at the start because I was paid for it. You see that sentence there? That give me $1,000 for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do with that $1,000? I'm going to buy a different mattress.
But you can't do that. Usually those contracts have like little disclaimers stopping you from doing it, which is why we've never had a sponsor on this channel ever, because every time they reach out, I say those 3 things. I think it's the most reasonable thing in the world, isn't it? I want my audience to know how much they're being paid, and I want to maintain my creative freedom, and they say no. I think, though, the fact that I can't get that deal with any of the people who've approached the channel, up to and including all of the bigger, products that people will recognise other YouTubers shilling, says a lot about what the other YouTubers are agreeing to.
It also says a lot about how little faith companies have in how good their product is.
It does, doesn't it?
If you have to force somebody to say it's good, rather than letting them
not even say it's good,
themselves,
just preventing them potentially saying anything that's bad.
I'd be curious to know whether anything that you've inadvertently raved about, like Henry Hoover's.
Oh man!
Whether someone's bought one.
Do you know I emailed Henry Hoover's?
I heard.
I emailed them saying, "Can I be sponsored by Henry? I'll take any amount of money. I don't want anything for free. I just want a T-shirt." And they said no. I also contacted Heinz Baked Beans, saying I will advertise Heinz Baked Beans in return for some free beans, as long as you agree to provide some free beans to a local homeless charity of my choice. And they never got back to me.
What about Pepsi Max?
They never got back to me either.
Although I do think it's funny that you've got Coke Zero in the fridge right now.
That's probably why they didn't get back to me.
It was on offer.
It's fine. Also, I'm drinking like Smart Water, which I think is made by Coca-Cola. Oh. I think it's owned by their company. Let's have a look. It's Coca-Cola European Partners, yeah. Ah, yeah. Bottled in Uxbridge. Oh. Cool. Should we talk about, as a bonus fact, Coca-Cola, did you ever hear about when they tried to make Dasani over here? When they tried to make Dasani a thing? Did you ever hear the story about that?
Dasani is?
Dasani is bottled water in America.
Okay.
And they advertise it saying Dasani's full of spunk.
I mean...
Do you remember that? No, put that behind me. And then it turned out they were actually bottling it in a factory in Sidcup. So it was bottled, it was tap water that they were bottling and selling to people. And then Coca-Cola said, oh no, but our water is put through a special distillation process that makes it cleaner than tap water. And then British Water got really pissed off about that because we put our water through 50 filtration systems. Our water is amongst the cleanest in the world. We do our fucking job. They tested Coca-Cola's Dasani and found trace elements of arsenic and carcinogens in it. So what Coca-Cola did is take perfectly clean, safe drinking water, fill it with chemicals that could potentially cause cancer, tell people it was full of spunk, put it in a bottle, and then try and put a mark of 20,000% on it. It's like, fucking go, Coca-Cola. So I'm guessing now, Coca-Cola's never going to sponsor us.
I was going to say,
either.
I'm scratching my head right now. I'm wondering why a company won't sponsor you. And it's almost like, whenever we bring up the name of the company, you come up with a random fact about why they're a...
Because there is no big company out there who's not done something like this. That's not even the worst thing Coca-Cola's done. Fucking hell.